Welcome back to another episode of the Tacho Show. And today we're just going to go ahead and do a little recap of my SDS round this season. I was able to get to rank 1 once again, so pretty nice. 2 times in a row for me, which is pretty awesome. I think SDR is the one that I'm looking forward to more, because I haven't been able to get to rank 1 in that mode, but without being able to veto enemy units, that's not going to be so pretty. So I'm kind of dreading it, but also excited about it at the same time. So anyway, what is there to really say about this season? We had this map here, which is a real pain in the ass because it's very baity. This has got to be like one of the more defensive maps. So it really promotes a playstyle where you're waiting and being very patient. You want to try to let the opponents come to you because there's all of these breakable walls in the way. And in order to get your units in, like if you're running a cav team or something like that, in order to get through the middle, it's going to take quite a bit of time. So it's really slow style and really slow-paced fights for this map. And also, that just goes doubly so with the Earth Rendering Seal in play, because you can just run this and keep on bringing the capture area back to you. So it just keeps on applying a lot of defensive pressure when you have that, and I was running it on every single one of my teams. Also, I made sure to run a really solid Omni tank on all of these teams. So on the first team, we had Emblem Ike. On the next team, we had Attuned Sheeta. And then on the third team, we had Legendary Male Alir. If I had Altina from the Nabata banner, I would have ran her as well, but I don't have her. So instead, I had to make do with just making a Flyer Ball team for the final setup. And of course, Flyers are really effective on this map as well, because they can just avoid these river tiles and go right in. So I also tried to keep a good Flyer on all these teams as well. So we have Ashnard here, who, man, this guy is, for a free-to-play unit, he is insanely effective. Like, you would not believe this is a Grand Hero battle. He's really efficient on Heroic Feathers, too, to get to plus 10, because we've had so many reruns of this guy. I think I had, like, 5 copies of him in my, in the, like, codes already. Just lying around that I didn't even need to Heroic Grail. So it was a real easy plus 10 on this guy. And then also, I've just got a bunch of stuff on him. I've got Gambit 4. I've got Rain Snap. So he's looking really good. He's giving a lot of support to Emblem Ike as well. So that's awesome. So I also noticed that I had tied defense on Ike and Ashnard. So that allowed me to go for this baby Frederick here, who can give them both the bonus doubler support at the start of the turn. There's a bunch of other bonus doubler support units I could have went with, like Elliewood, for example, but I opted for Frederick in the end because I didn't want to have to run a dragon unit that I didn't want to have to use. So just for the team efficiency and the space efficiency, I went for Frederick there. Then I just tied defense with Asker so he could also get the bonus doubler and just threw in a random dancer just because. This team got vetoed quite a lot, and it's not really difficult to see why. I mean, Emblem Ike's presence was known. Even if you didn't fight him at all in this season, that's probably because you vetoed him, so you didn't have to worry about him. But this guy's presence was just everywhere. He was on, like, every single team that I saw, so he was my #1 top priority to veto. If I ever saw him, I just vetoed him on the spot. Okay, next up for my second team, we're running a Pathfinder line with Sheeta and Dagger. So they both get Pathfinder, and then I can run in with Igreen or Leon, so they can extend their reach and dominate the enemies. I've also got Kanto control on Igreen, which is pretty clutch here. I actually have double Kanto control on this team, so it works out pretty well. I can trade up pretty easily with my units being able to outreach the enemies, and then we've got a Dancer there just for extra support, but this team got vetoed every single time. I was never able to use it, and again, it's not really that difficult to see why. You got double Pathfinder with Leon and Igreen. Pretty stacked second team there. Okay, then for my third team, I was running Alir. This actually ended up being my main team for the season. I used this one the most, and I think it's mainly because people were too afraid of Ike and Leon, so they just instantly vetoed the top 2 teams. But this one is really just as scary as these other two, because I've got Anna here who can give Rain Snap support to Alir. I've got insane action economy between Robin and Crom, where they can both repo and then move again. And then we've got Mirabilis, who can give the whole team pretty much bonus doubler support, while also doing a sick debuff on the enemies, too. She does Panic, which is really good. So I could essentially get a raid boss in here while having insane amounts of offensive support, and then we've got so much action economy. If I had access to a tuned Lucina, I think I actually would have preferred to run her, but unfortunately I don't have her, so I just had to go for Chrom. The reason why is because you could do a lot with this unit and a tuned Lucina. First of all, they get like half of Treachery in their B skill after they proc it, so if you swap in with a tuned Lucina with them, she gives Treachery as a status support, and then you're getting Treachery from the B skill. So both of those should stack on top of each other. Then on top of that, Lucina's doing her snag debuff and her weapon debuff on the enemies, while this unit is also doing the Hush Spectrum debuff. They're pre-charging their own special when they repo, and then you can go ahead and pop this duo skill here to give Dual Strike and Rally Spectrum. It's insane, like, how much support you're able to get from this unit, and then also, on top of that, the amount of debuffs you can do with Lucina. So, I wish I could have did that instead, but Chrom just, the good old reliable there with Chrom. And then the final team is just a flyer line, not really much to say here. We got Camilla support for Ivy and Elincia, so they can cut DR, and then Chloe's in there for the duo skill, so I can power up Ivy and have her just body all of those save tanks like Myrrh and Byleth and stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some replays here. I did lose 2 fights. I think one of them was a clean loss, but then one of them I felt like I probably could have won if I played a little better. Which one was that? I think it was this one, maybe. But we'll see when we take a look at the replays. The first one I want to show is just Ike. Let's show off one with Ike and Ashnard here. So this one's for the free-to-play crew. All you guys out there that have an Ashnard waiting in the wings, then check this out. Alright, so opening strategy is just whatever. I don't really have any openings. Just make sure FEHvorite is giving bonus doubler to people. Ideally, you could have Ashnard over here or over here so he can just, like, fly over the rivers and then, like, get a pincher on whoever is over there. So I just had him up there for now. Alright, this guy's team is really ill-equipped to deal with what I've got here. He's got Gugu Gaga, he's got Alir, and then he's got Veil. Seems like he's trying to support his Byleth there as the save tank, but not a single one of his units can threaten Ike or even Ashnard for that matter. So we're pretty much good to go here. I can take this at as slow of a pace as I want. Alright, there I go for the dance to just get back our stats on Ashnard. I think he was debuffed. Alright, then we just pop a duo skill there with Asker. I can throw Ike in harm's way because nothing bad is going to happen. Alright, then I think sparks were starting to fly on this turn here. So he goes for his duo skill. Not really too sure what purpose that's going to serve. And look at that. 3 damage to Ashnard with his Gugu Gaga. Alright, we get the dance. We get the KO there. Again, unable to kill my Ashnard. And then I moved him back because he took a lot of damage. I didn't want him to die. And I also wanted him to still be giving the Rain Snap to Ike. So I just pushed him down there for now. And none of his units can threaten Ike at all. So pretty clean win there. Okay, let's take a look at a loss next. I think this was the one where I could have won if I played a little better. Yeah, this is definitely the one. Okay, so this guy's running Myrrh over here. Shout outs to Zento, by the way. He was able to beat me here. So he's got Myrrh, which is one of the more annoying units for pretty much any of my teams. I mean, just having the Warp Bubble support on this map is really nice, because not being able to warp over all of these, like, hazards is pretty effective there. Okay, so he goes in. He's got Hinoka as well to get bonus movement. He's got Satyr. This is one of the few times where Satyr was actually able to put in some work here. Alright, so Satyr is going to automatically end my Alir's turn, which I don't really care about. That's not a big deal. I have the Earth Rendering Seal, so I'm going to get a little bit of an advantage here with the capture area. Alright, just pop Anna's duo skill so we can get Miracle. He goes for his duo skill to do whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just a whiff in action, I guess. Alright, and then the action economy is just so powerful with this team. Look at this. I use so many actions already. I'm going to eventually just get a leg up on him where I have units that can move and he doesn't. Alright, so at this point, I think I made a misplay over here where... Alright, it didn't come yet, but in a second, I'm going to rush in with my male Aleer. Yeah, right there. So I attack his Myrrh. I get rid of her. The thought process behind that was I just wanted to get rid of his warp bubbles so my Mirabilis could warp in all of my allies. I probably shouldn't have done that because I already still had the advantage with the capture area and the Earth Rendering Seal. I could have just played like a pussy and I would have been able to win the fight off of points. But that's not really my playstyle. I like to just go balls to the walls and beat the opponent to death. So, to me, I don't win the fight until all of my opponents have been beaten. So I just had to rush in. My thought process is never trying to tank or, like, stall out. But, alas, as I said, I think I probably would have won if I had done it that way. Alright, just trying to get some maneuvers in on the opponent. I wanted Mirabilis in front so we could warp in. And he obviously goes after her first for the KO, and then we get our KO there. Unfortunate that Anna wasn't able to get any start of turn bonuses. Otherwise, she could have avoided the double from his Claude there and lived. Alright, we're able to get rid of Catria. Catria surprisingly was able to counter me. I guess she had like distant counter or prime or something. Alright, here if only I was able to warp in my Chrom, I think I might have been able to win. Because I would have just like warped Chrom in, taken out Satyr, and then Claude would have killed whoever, doesn't matter, and then my next turn I would have won. But yeah, if only I had the Oath Echo seal on Chrom, or Oath Echo Attune skill on Chrom, I think I would have been able to win this. But it is what it is, you can't win them all. And then Satyr with a ton of res was able to avoid getting clapped by my Duo Robin there. So, pretty good fight. Alright, let's see. Let's also take a look at this one here. This one, I used the flying team, so we'll take a look at this one. I think this will probably be our last replay, because I don't want this video to be like 20 minutes long. Alright, this was the final fight I had to do, so shoutouts to Red Lotus. Pretty good fight here, honestly. Again, we have Myrrh, who is the bane of my existence. More so on this team, because we're more reliant on warping here than we are on the other team. Alright, so he's just getting Myrrh all the way in, so he gets the maximum reach on Warp Bubble. And I'm just trying to play it cool for now, try to break some of these obstacles so we can get better reach here. Yeah, he whiffs his Duo skill with Catria just to waste an action. I don't think he can ever out-action me, though, because I have the Dancer. I've also got a bunch of Duo skills that I can use, too. Alright, here the process, or the thought process I wanted was to get Ivy as close as possible. He goes for his Duo skill with her to get Dominance, but I just wanted to have Ivy as close by as I could so I could get her in. And then after I pop the Duo skill with Chloe, I'm able to beat his Myrrh with my Ivy. Alright, we go for the dance there. I kind of forced his hand, too. I think he could have beaten me, actually, if he played a little bit more defensively. He didn't need to, like, just rush in his unit there, but the reason why I overextended Alincia and Azura was to try to force him to feel like he had to push in, so that way I could just get rid of his units with Ivy. If he had waited a turn, I wouldn't have been able to kill his Myrrh with Ivy either. The only reason I was able to do it was because of this. So, I feel like he probably misplayed a little, but at the same time, it's a really unfun map to play on, where I think fatigue was probably setting in for a lot of players where they didn't want to just turtle up the entire time. And then here we're able to win because we just have more actions, and I was able to have Kanto. I got rid of his Chrom first, so he lost his Kanto control. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this run. We did pretty good. I was able to win on points as well. I specifically kept my Chloe behind because I had the Captain Seal on her. So I got a little bit of extra points from getting a KO with her later on in the fight. That was the reason why I tucked her away. But yeah, pretty close. Like I said again, I think he could have won if he had played his Myrrh a little bit better. But there you guys go. That is pretty much at least all of the memorable fights. I actually had quite a lot of other like really good fights, but they're very turtly. And like I said, I don't like that playstyle. So let me know how you guys were able to do for your season in SDS. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas. And I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.